Rudolf, this is your hood, Maroubra. Have you reached local legend status around here, do you reckon, yet?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, this is definitely home for me, and it's where I grew up, and the beach is sort of everything down here. I used to come here, and I was a nipper down here, and used to just always, maybe my Sundays would just get down here at 8 o'clock in the morning, do all your nipper stuff, and leave at 8 p.m. at night after going to get 10,000 Chico rolls and getting 10,000 waves, and it was just the best childhood ever down here.
I can see you coming out of the water down there. I think there's posts on your Instagram with the long Fabio hair. It's like Baywatch, right?
Yeah. It's a bit, they're a bit hectic, actually, probably take those down. But, yeah, look, I do love, getting down, splashing my hair out of the water and looking a bit Jason Momoa-like. I try to anyway.
Yeah.
Poor man's Jason Momoa. Yeah, poor man's Jason Momoa, at least. Kmart version. Kmart version.
So you grew up here. What was it like as a young fellow in Maroubra? It's obviously probably a bit different now. You're a first-grade footballer. You're doing really well in life, but you came from a bit more of a humble beginning. Yeah,
for sure. Maroubra it was a very different place about 20 years ago. So I grew up sort of in Lexington Place in the government housing over there with mum and my brother, and our little street was a nice little community. Around it wasn't too flash. And yeah, Maroubra, I sort of didn't see too much of that side of Maroubra. You call it the dark side if you wanna, I guess. I was only a young kid back then, and sort of was sheltered from a lot of it. But you did see a bit of I wouldn't say crime, just a bit of fights, a bit of blues, that sort of stuff. And it wasn't anything too hectic, but it is definitely a different place now. Property values have definitely changed that. Everything's so expensive around here now, and the rich have moved in, the poor have been booted out. So yeah, look, it's a different place when I grew up, but look, it still has the same heart, same soul, and that's why I still love it down here.
How did you kind of avoid that, being a young fella in those areas and not coming from the richest background, as you said, to avoid getting caught up in that kind of stuff?
Personally, I was just really scared of Mum. I was just so terrified of her. Whatever she said just was law to me. So I remember I would talk to her about going to hang down at the beach when I with a few boys, and she just would put just a line straight through it and just give me a smack across the arse with a wooden spoon or something, So, yeah, whatever Mum said, I was just too scared to disobey her, to be honest, and that was sort of what kept me on the straight and narrow, and my brother sort of helped me along the way too, actually, yeah.
So you've got a great relationship with your mum.
Definitely,
It's been you and her a lot of time over your childhood. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, single mum, so it was just me and her since I can remember, obviously, my entire life. My brother got the boot when he was 17, being too naughty, and then it was just me and her from then on. Moved out when I was about 21, so we had 10 years together. Just in a little beach shack down the beach, down at Maroubra, and having we are best friends, and definitely love her a lot, and, I'm definitely her favourite son. Sorry, Josh, it's Bjorn. But, yeah, we get on really great, and she's just a great lady, and, has been my rock here my whole life, and someone for advice, someone, just a helping hand whenever I needed it, throughout injuries, throughout the ups and downs of league. She was always there with me, and always just sort of that, that nurturing role that mothers do play.
Because she presented you your jersey on debut when you made your debut in 2020?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was pretty emotional. I almost lost it. She lost it, and her losing it almost made me lose it. But yeah, that was just a culmination of everything. Like, since I was a young kid, I remember every single birthday I wished to be playing in NRL since I was 6 years old. Every birthday I can remember, that was the birthday wish I wished for. So when it finally happened at 24, Mum was there. It was just before the crowds got sort of pissed off with COVID. So I was so happy that she could be there. My brother was there as well, my auntie, and it's a fairly memory that I don't think will ever sort of leave me, that I still look back on to this day was just such like a fond memory. It just gives me a bit of joy, a bit of energy, So, yeah, an amazing moment.
I was going to say, with everything your family's kind of gone through, just together as a tight-knit unit, it makes it even more special, doesn't it? Your mum, your brother, the ups and the downs to then achieve that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it was not too long before that when I was at the Rabbitohs, and wasn't really given much of a look in. I was playing pretty poorly, and I remember going to Mum and I actually started crying my eyes out, just going like, I failed, this is it, it's over. I've had my shot, I've wasted it. At the time I was moving to Brisbane, and she sort of said it was all gonna be okay, and I didn't believe her, and lo and behold, moved to Brisbane, get back to Sydney, make the debut 2 years later, and she was just there throughout the whole journey with my brother as well. He's gotten so much better at chasing the ball. He used to know how to do it.
There you go.
He doesn't really give it back.
Let it go.
He doesn't drop.
Toby, tell us about your little mate here.
Yeah, little Louis. We've had him for a couple of years now. Got him when he was about 1 or 2, so now he's about 3 or 4. Bit of a rescue, and he's just so cruisy. Like, he's just, he's sort of the perfect dog. Like, he's, the only thing he doesn't do is give the ball back. But other than that, if you're sitting down on the couch having a bad day or you're really hungover, one of the two, he'll just sort of, get on the couch, lay on your chest and just give you a big cuddle. And yeah, he's just, he's a really good friend of mine actually now. Put my best mate down here.
What about not having a father for most of your life growing up? How did that affect you?
Not at all, to be honest. I mean, the way I always describe it is if you grew up in the desert, would you miss the beach? You've never known anything else, So I've always had just a mum, and I don't know what it's like to have a dad. So, it's always just been, she's my mum and my dad, really. So it's never really affected me, I don't think.
Who did you look to for a male role model in your life then?
Yeah, definitely. There was a few. Across my life. It wasn't just sort of one. A lot of friends' dads growing up were sort of, just that sort of stern voice every now and again that I might have needed. And probably the biggest one was my uncle Marty, Mum's best friend. He was the one he's the gay guy that was in the article a few days earlier. Yeah. He used to take me on camping trips. He used to take me, we used to go caving together, Janolan Caves, and went to Vanuatu once. So he was always there and was always, sort of guiding me along the way. He was a science teacher. I wanted to be a science teacher when I left school. Didn't really work out, no brains for it, I found out. But yeah, so he's probably one of them, and a few others along the way, just like I said before.
You wanted to be a science teacher. You didn't pan out that way, but you've had a lot of jobs over the years before you cracked it as a footballer.
Yeah.
Give me the hit list real quickly. What have you worked as?
I can try. I'll probably forget some. So the first one, I was 13 working at Flower Power as a trolley boy. Then I went on to Kmart. That was pretty up there in Kmart. Yeah. I was a referee, rugby union coach. I was a labourer for a year and a half doing rubbish removals. Hotel concierge, a lollipop man, landscaper for the first month. Luckily, work ran out. It was way too hard. I was a door-to-door salesman. I was a truck driver. I think that's about it. I think, yeah, fair few.
That is quite an experience. I mean, having all those jobs, doing all those different paths in life, what does that teach you?
Playing footy's way better.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah, I think that working isn't the funnest thing ever, especially when it's manual labour. And yeah, if you can sort of pass the ball around for a living, probably go and do that instead. So yeah, that's what it taught me.
Because I've spoken to one of your teammates, Sifa Talakai.
Yeah.
And he was a garbage man at one point. And
Yeah, he's done a few sort of... He was sort of same sort of path as me, really. Yeah. Similar paths, really. Both at South together, and then both got the flick around the same time. He went to New South Wales Cup, I went to Queensland Cup, and then I made my debut the same year. He sort of got pushed back into the side because he was killing it so much. But yeah, I think the jobs really just teach you to be appreciative of what we have here. A lot of the guys that might get the debuts early and have been in first grade systems their whole life, sometimes can get lost on them. So I think it's just to be appreciative, and just hard work does pay off. They're the two things that it taught me, I think. Because
for Sifa, he openly admits that he wasn't switched on enough. He didn't want it enough. His attitude wasn't good. He thought he was killing it. For you, what was the kind of setbacks and difficulties in your road to first grade where you didn't debut till you were probably about 24? 24, yeah. So it was weird. When I was at South, in my 20s, my second 20s year, I started just playing really good footy. I got a first grade gig for the following year. And then, honestly, to this day, I don't really know what happened. I think it was just the hair thing. I grew it out when I was 19, got a first grade gig, cut it, played shit for 2 years, grew it back, debuted, and then here I am now. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it might have been a bit of a social life thing, maybe having a bit too much fun on the weekends, here and there, and I think I just needed a bit of a kick up the bum, to be honest. I was sort of comfortable living at home with Mum and living in Maroubra where I grew up my whole life, and then moving to Brisbane when it was just sort of my last shot, and I realised it was either kill it now for Redcliffe or go and be a carpenter forever or a plumber or a sparky. I think there was just...
I needed something just to sort of get me moving a bit more, just to sort of, yeah, get me focused, I guess. That was the main thing.
So all the power's in the hair.
All the powers in the hair. Long story short, all the powers in the hair. Can never cut it. Can never cut it.
It's very good.
It's luscious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was born with this. People won't believe it, but I was born with the widow's peak, or the Batman symbol, one of the two, whichever you want to call it.
The McDonald's M.
McDonald's M. There's a lot of names for it. Yeah, I actually have proof. There's like a baby photo of me with just this full V. So I don't think it's gone back anymore since that day, but I don't know. Talk to me in 10 years and we'll wait and see.
Where's the ball? Go!
I've heard you say before that you reckon that when everyone first meets you, they hate you.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, probably because I can't shut up. That's probably why. I think I just try to be this like Larry out there guy, which is just me. Like I said, I just try and be me all the time, and I try and bed probably a bit too soon. I don't know anyone, and everyone's like, "Who is this Derek? Like, what a Gronk?" And yeah, it happened at South when I first was there in 2017. Everyone for the first 6 weeks was like, "This guy's a full-on freak. Don't go near him." Blake Bradley openly says the first day he met me, he just thought, "I'm never ever talking to this guy again." So yeah, Redcliffe was the same. Everywhere's the same. It's quite funny, really. Even school.
Because you chewed Wade Graham's ear off once in rehab, didn't you?
Yeah, so he tried to get me either sacked. He said either I'm sacked or he said either sack him where I'm going or change our rehab time. So we both have the same injury, same sort of time slot. Both had the ACL knee reconstructions, and I forget what I did exactly, but we were training one time together, and then just after that session, he goes to Shane Flanagan, who was the coach at the time, and said, "Mate, either you're sacking him or we're changing physio times because I cannot deal with him anymore." And I thought like his like rehab was sort of past mine because I stopped seeing him. I was like, "Oh, that's a bit weird," and then realised, yeah, he actually fully brushed me. So yeah.
But you like being the funny guy. You like being the personality and the loudest guy in the room. Fair enough to say?
Yeah, I think it is. Like it's not necessarily I like it. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
I can't just not do it. No matter how hard I try. I remember when I went to Redcliffe, I said to myself, okay, just don't be that guy. Just try and just be the, like show your personality a bit later on as time goes by. But I can't hide it, sort of thing. So, yeah, it's just who I am as a person, I guess.
So you've just decided to embrace it now. You just full on flair.
Yeah.
Just bring it on.
Full on flair, don't care. Yeah.
So, fast forward, you've made it now as a footballer. You're playing regular first grade. You're in the starting team for the Sharks. The Sharks are on the up. This year has been a big change with Craig Fitzgibbon coming in as coach.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest thing he's taught you as a footballer individually?
Again, it's a tough one. Like, I think he's just sort of brought something to the whole team. He's just brought such a defensive mindset. We always knew he was a defensive type of coach. And I think one thing he might have taught me is just to be calm in certain situations. I think in years gone by, my head might have fallen off if things were going wrong and I wasn't playing well and all that stuff. And I think he just sort of just taught me just to slow down and just process things as they come. Stop worrying about everything. If you make a mistake, just don't worry about it. Don't let it carry on for the rest of the game. That's how you end up having a poor game. But yeah, his biggest thing on the team is just the defensive mindset that we have now, the resolve we have on our goal line, and without getting too technical, just those little things that you need to be a top 4 defensive club to win the comp, and so far we're tracking that way, and we want to keep doing that for the rest of the year.
What's he like as a bloke?
He's a legend, eh? He's a really good bloke. He's quietly funny. He's a bit of a freak as well. Like, he loves to do. On game day, he'll do an hour and a half of jiu-jitsu wrestling, so his body is completely wrecked, so he feels like he's able to talk to us about going out and playing footy. Otherwise, he feels like he doesn't have the right.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's a different cat. He's a free spirit, I reckon, as well. But yeah, I'm sorry to say, I definitely do his head in. I'm sorry that he has to coach me. I know that it's a sort of one of the things he looks forward to least about rocking up to his job. But yeah, I've got all the time well for Fitz.
What do you do to annoy him?
Breathe, probably is one of the things. That's one. Just, I Oh, there's a few things going on that, yeah, I probably can't say on camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of freaks and guys that push themselves to other limits, it's Dale Finucane and Cameron McInnes, two guys that joined the club this year, two middle forwards like yourself. What has been the biggest thing that struck you about those two guys?
Their professionalism, for sure. They're always two guys that they play the most sort of physical position on the field, and they're two guys that don't stop working on their bodies to make sure that they can perform at their absolute peak. Any little injuries they have, any little niggles, they're always the first one on the table, the first one doing their rehab exercises. You'll get to training at, I'll get there at 8:30. Dale will be there for half an hour already doing his neck stuff, doing his elbow stuff, doing his knee stuff, whatever he can do, So their professionalism and just their demeanour around the club is unreal as well. They're very positive people, and they're just two guys that you just know that what you're going to get out of them. You love lining up with them to play with them because you just know they're going to do a job for you.
And it makes you want to be better?
It makes me want to be better for sure. It makes me want to be, as good as them. It makes me want to go into the Blues camps that they've gone on and do the things that they've done in the game and play in a million grand finals like Dale has, So, yeah, it definitely pushes me, and I like those guys. They're nice guys.
With all that being said, do you think the Sharks can win a premiership this year?
Without a doubt, yeah. I do. We got the personnel, we have the coach, we have the mindset. I think we can go with the best of the teams. We've proven that this year. That we can go with the best of the teams in the competition. And, the thing that I think that sort of sets us apart from other teams is that we haven't really played our best footy yet. We're still learning our identity as a team, and, we're still not sort of icing games where we can. And I think just as the comp keeps going on, as we keep perfecting that, we'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, we've spoken about some of the guys in your team, we've spoken about your coach, but how would you describe yourself as a footballer?
Not too flashy, just a bit hard running, hard tackling, miss a lot of tackles, still working on that. I try to be just sort of a worker, just someone that does the jobs no one wants to do. I'm not a flashy player. I'm not one setting up tries, scoring tries. I'm just sort of a bit of a toiler, a bit of a nut trucker, I think they call them as well. But it's a game I love to play, and it's a game I'll continue to love to play for the rest of my life.
It's kind of a metaphor for your whole life, right? Just kind of toiling away, getting it done, doing the jobs.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Never really was the flashiest worker, never really the flashiest footballer. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say it carries on.
How would you describe yourself as a bloke?
Yeah, pretty easygoing, pretty sort of carefree. I try not to let things sort of worry me too much, and don't really read into a lot of situations. I just sort of want everyone to get along, and just don't want anyone to sort of bicker or fight about anything. I don't know. It's just I just love love, baby.
You just love love, which leads me to my next question.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're one of the first player in a very long time to openly speak about same-sex relationships, same-sex experiences. Why did you feel the need to say what you said?
I don't know. I think I wanted to sort of throw my support behind the community that has sort of been there my whole life. And also I'm just, not too fast to speak about anything about me. Like, I'm not really scared of anything that, to let the people know about, not the people, just to let anyone know about the things that I do. And, I think the main thing is, though, the LGBTQI plus community was sort of dragged through the mud a bit that week, and they were just sort of looking for I wanted to give them a bit of a boost, and I think also in the background I really want to get on a Mardi Gras float, and that was probably the best way I can go about it.
Well, the NRL's got one. So,
do they?
Yeah, the NRL's got one.
I'm there next year.
You absolutely, you can be in the budgie smugglers.
Keen as.
Does it upset you that it is still a story, that a footballer comes out and says, yes, I've kissed some men in my life, and it's front page news? Look, I think there's always going to be a stigma around it, I think, especially us playing such a hard man sport, and, there's still just a bit of, a stigma around, being gay and all this and whatever, and, people just need to get over it, I think. I can understand where people come from with the religious background and whatnot, but in the general world today and, in the modern world, it's just,
Everyone, ELE, everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody. Yeah. What was the reception like for you when you said it?
It was really positive. I think I might, in what year, always, no matter what you say, you're going to have a couple of negative comments, but 99% of people were, really applauded me, my bravery and stuff, which I didn't really think it was that brave. I just thought it was just me just talking about my stuff. I don't really, that didn't faze me too much. But yeah, everyone, I went out to Northies that night after the game, after we won that Golden Point game, and everyone there was just being really nice as well, being really supportive, saying that they loved what I said, and overall was just overwhelmingly positive. I was really nicely surprised.
How important do you think it is for big, tough guys like yourself, footballers, to challenge what it means to be masculine these days? There's such a perception of what masculinity is, but to say, no, it doesn't have to be that. I'm a bit different.
Yeah, I think it's just, just be an individual. You don't have to conform to masculinity, you don't have to conform to being heterosexual. Just be the person you want to be. I mean, it's not necessary. I think you're definitely right. In football culture, there's been this, this misconception of what it is to be a man, a big, tough, burly, whatever you might say. But I think you want to live in a world where everyone's comfortable in their own skin and just comfortable being who they are, loving who they love, and, just hanging out with who they want to hang out with. Yeah.
You have a bit of a superstition about the hair, cutting the hair, because you think it might affect your footballing game. Do you have any other superstitions? I find athletes usually do.
Yeah, no, I used to have heaps. I used to have, so many. One of them was I had to sing a certain song on the way to a game. I used to have to wear the same hair tie every week, and if you lost, I'd change it. I used to have heaps, and then even when I would sort of walk out, that's the only one I still have. When I walk out of the sheds to warm up, I walk out, I don't jog out until I get a ball and pass it up in the air twice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds weird, but I used to have so many, but now it's just that hair and the walk out.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I started doing it, Redcliffe started playing well and just kept doing it. That's how they all happen. You start playing well doing something, you just keep doing it, you can't not do it anymore.
Did you know that you are actually you have the longest try drought in the Cronulla team right now? Because Andrew Fafita scored recently, I checked the stats, you have the longest try drought. I think you're 23 or 24 games without a try. Haven't scored this year.
Haven't scored this year, so because I haven't scored this year, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
Longest try drought, ouch, didn't know that.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. But yeah, I don't score tries. I score one a year, but the season's running out pretty fast, so this might be the first year I don't get one.
And that means, is the nudie run still a thing?
I'll do it if I score a try. I'm not that phased. Just whatever.
What do you want to work on as a footballer? What do you want to improve on?
Missing tackles. That'd be one. I think I want to be sort of more of a, just not so one-dimensional, I guess. I mean, I don't really look up in the defensive line when I'm carrying the ball, look who's in front of me, look at spots or count numbers, this sort of thing. This is like the smart footballer. That's never really been me. So if I can just work on that a little bit, I've played a bit of eyes-up footy like the Cam Murrays. I'm not going to be a Cam Murray. I'm not going to be an Andrew Johns. I'm not going to ever be such a ball-playing, amazing player. But if I can just take a bit more note of those sort of things as I mature in my career, that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, they could have the male model looks like Cam Murray, but.
No, he's next level, man. He's next level. Yeah, I don't know how to handle that, man.
Toby Rudolf, you've been killing it. We look forward to seeing what you do with the Sharks the rest of this year and how your career progresses over the next couple of years. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, bro.
Cheers, Jakey.
This has been a Fox Sports production.